So we are back with Jen from West Pest Control. Fascinating at a time when a lot of industries are putting people off. West Pest are taking the other attitude and saying, look, to serve our customers better, let's get some trainees and then we can train them in the right way of dealing with customers, so it creates longevity for the company but also a really good quality of service for the customers as well. Trainee coming in, what's a typical day? I mean, do they have a typical day?
Look, once they've finished their provisional licensing and I can put them with a technician so that they can go on their daily work, a technician has to train them for 30 days.
Right.
So what that 30 days gives them is basically the typical, what does a technician do in 30 days?
Yes.
And what kind of jobs am I going to experience? And that technician who's fully trained can then teach them not only our SOPs, but also the right way of treating each pest. Because each situation is going to be a bit like, here's this box of what we find at the service.
Yes.
This customer's house might have holes in the eaves, so something's gotten into the roof. Or it might have holes at the windows, and so stuff is coming into the bathroom or to the kitchen or to the wherever they're coming in at. So each situation, you have to look at all the possibilities and then decide, okay, I'm going to treat this area because this is the most likely area for your pest to get in that you're having a problem with. But in the same respect, it also trains them how to look for termites, how to distinguish the difference between termites and wood rot, because they are different. They might look the same, but they're very different to the trained eye.
Right.
And I find that typically the trainees that we put on tend to pick up those things a lot faster than the full-term technicians who have had a job for years and years and years.
Wow.
Which is a bit scary because those people are out there working for some other company before they come to me.
Yeah.
And yet my trainees are more diligent because I've put the time and the effort into making sure they know exactly what they're looking for and exactly how the company wants to see it and exactly what we do for our customers.
That's really good. When you were just saying a moment, just flick back, you said they do this provisional training before they go with a technician. What is that? What is that
So
for?
provisional training is a book learning. It's basically, if you go through TAFE, for example, it's a 5-day course where you're all day in class for 5 days. You do some assignments, you learn some stuff about how general pests work, about how to draw a plan, about why you would want to draw a plan, what an SOP is.
Because you got me going, why would you draw a plan?
Well, you have to know exactly where you're putting the product. Because one of the things that is required by your license is to tell your customer what product you're using and where you put it. And that's safety related for the customer and for us. So that if the customer experiences any adverse effect to the product, we can tell them what product we used, where we put it, if it's likely for them to have gotten an adverse effect. And most of our products, it's not very likely.
No.
Even where we're putting it, it's almost impossible for a customer to have an adverse effect. You'd more likely see a technician who's dumped the product fully on themselves head to toe have an adverse effect right away than a customer who's experienced it after it's dried.
Yes. So it's really interesting. I suppose it's natural, being chemicals, that there is that traceability all the way through. So the trainees that you take, is that one of the skill sets you're also looking for, that diligence, that attention to that type of detail?
Attention to detail. And really how much they care about what they're doing makes a difference. So if they're willing to learn, if they find some sort of passion in looking at ants or termites or rodent droppings, who knows? You know, I mean, if that excites them and they can go, oh, look what I found. Oh, this is the best thing since peanut butter. Then, you know, then they're going to be really good at finding that detail time and time and time again. Some people, I find, it's not so much the subject matter that excites them, but the fact that they've become a part of something. So we're also trying to do a little bit of motivational work with those new people. Even we try to do it with the old people too, but with the new people especially, we try to build in that kind of accountability and pride in their job, pride in what they've been able to do. And when a customer calls in and says, hey, that was a really great technician, send them back. I let them know. By the way, your customer today said, send me back next year.
Yeah.
That same person, because I really liked them. And they get that sense of pride that you don't always get in a job.
I must admit, because I've been here a couple of times when the technicians have pulled back in and they're smiling and they're happy. And I know we were going to do a film shoot and I'm thinking, when are they going? And they weren't. They were settling in for a conference, very, very relaxed. And I thought, it just had that hallmark of they all feel like family here.
They should do, because that's what we want them to feel. We want them to feel a part of it. Because if they're not a part of it, then what are we really doing?
Yeah. So putting traineeships on, and I know trainees are watching and people are going, oh, maybe I've got a chance here. But for a company perspective, what do you see as the biggest advantages of getting trainees over getting some of these more and nothing wrong with the experienced technicians, but the advantages for your particular company?
The advantages here are I can build that sense of loyalty, that sense of commitment, that sense of participation, and I'm happy to be here and working for this company because they've supported me through my training.
Yeah.
You just don't always get that with a fully licensed technician who's been possibly burnt by other companies.
Yeah. Someone watching, they say, I think that might be for me. What do they have to do to convince you? How do they go about having a meeting, at least getting in front of you?
Well, the first thing they need to do is they need to contact the company. They can either send an email to manager@westpest.com.au, or they can call the company 08-9452-2600, or they can just send a letter. And email, phone call, some kind of contact to say, hey, I'm really interested in knowing, when are you putting on your next trainee?
Yeah, fantastic. And when they make that inquiry, what's a couple of questions they should be prepared for? Because there's nothing worse than going to interviews, and I've been to, I'm sure you have, and you go, I wonder what they're going to ask me.
Yeah, so what I'm going to ask is, why pest control? What is it that you want to learn in pest control that you will enjoy? And the other thing I'm going to say is, do you know what the salary level is for a traineeship? Because it's not as high as a full-term job. So when engineers who have been in engineering making a couple $1,000s a week come and ask for a traineeship, I look at them and I go, you're not going to make what you made as an engineer in a traineeship, and you probably won't make it in a full tech position unless you can sell and make commissions. And I need you to really understand what you're looking at before you try and tell me this is what I want to do.
Fantastic. What's those emails and phone numbers again?
The email is manager@westpest.com.au, and the phone number is 08-9452-2600.
And I would say that if you are interested in a career in pest control, it's worth a call. So if you're based in Perth, West Australia, give you guys a call, and you do hold the #1 license.
Yes, we do.
You are #1. We'll take a break and we'll be back with more from Jen at West Pest Control.